Montana. Its wild lands and waters make it possible for nature to thrive and for us to have the experiences and livelihoods that we enjoy. The landscapes we cherish are dependent on healthy habitats. Invasive species can devastate the Montana we know and love, quickly and permanently. It's up to all of us to be the stewards of the land. Prevention is the highest priority, and you are our greatest protector. Let's learn about some of the invasives to look out for in Montana and how you can prevent them from impacting our valuable lands and waters. Did you know that Montana is at risk of an invasion by feral swine? These highly adaptive animals are extremely destructive and dangerous. Their impacts create about $2.5 billion worth of damage across the U.S. each year to crops, wildlife, and private and public land. Feral swine can strip a field of crops in a single night, feed on small mammals, including ground-nesting birds, and are even known to prey on deer fawns. These swine are known to carry over 30 diseases and parasites, all of which threaten livestock, wildlife, and humans. This includes diseases such as swine brucellosis. As of early 2021, there is no strong evidence of feral swine in Montana, but known populations are in neighboring Alberta, Saskatchewan, and expanding north from the southern United States. Evidence of their presence includes wallowing, digging, and prints that are similar to deer, but rounder. Do not let Montana be overcome by the destruction of feral swine. You have the power to help protect the land and the livelihoods that would be devastated. If you see feral swine or evidence of their presence, call 406-444-2976. Montana is no stranger to the devastating effects of noxious weeds. Knapweed, leafy spurge, and dozens more have made their way into Montana's landscapes, overtaking native habitats and healthy rangelands. There are two noxious weeds of high concern that have recently made their way into Montana: Medusa head and ventinata. Both of these invasive annual grasses are extremely aggressive and will take over an entire landscape. They can be devastating to crops, livestock, and wildlife habitats. They also create flammable fuel for wildfires. Awareness and integrated management are our best defenses. The moment you brush past a plant, seeds can cling to your belongings and hitch a ride to expand their takeover. Make sure to always play, clean, go. Remove plants, seeds, and mud from your boots, gear, vehicles, pets, and livestock before entering or leaving a recreation site. Stay on designated roads and trails, and always use certified weed-free forage on public lands. Spread the word, not the weeds. For information on identifying or mitigating noxious weeds, visit weedawareness.org. Aquatic invasive species come in many forms: New Zealand mud snails, zebra mussels, and plants such as Eurasian water milfoil, just to name a few. They take over quickly and cause devastating damage to native plant and wildlife species and boating and fishing opportunities. They clog pipes that impact Montana's agriculture, hydropower, and residential water sources. Once these invasives arrive, they can become a multi-billion-dollar problem, with costs to livelihoods, recreation, property values, and the destruction of natural habitats. Aquatic invasive species can spread on everything from large boats to small kayaks, fishing gear, irrigation equipment, or when aquarium animals are released into waterways. One microscopic mussel larvae can be all it takes to create permanent damage. Always inspect and thoroughly clean your boats, kayaks, fishing gear, anything that will contact waterways. Watercraft inspections are mandatory in Montana. Go to cleandraindrymt.com for inspection locations and more information. Destruction to Montana's trees can occur with just one traveler's actions. Moving firewood long distances can spread insects and diseases that can wipe out the trees in our cities and forests. The emerald ash borer is one of the most damaging tree pests to look out for. It is a destructive, wood-boring insect that has killed millions of ash trees across North America. In Montana's towns and neighborhoods, over half the trees are ash trees. This insect could quickly create a public safety hazard and a huge expense for Montanans in replacing impacted trees, which provide valuable air filtration, shade, and habitat. Evidence of the emerald ash borer includes the thinning of an ash tree's canopy, D-shaped holes in the trunk, and bark splitting. The emerald ash borer is not yet found in Montana, but with just one piece of infested firewood, it could take over. Be a wise ash. Prevent the spread of destructive insects and diseases by not moving firewood long distances or bringing it in from out of state. Instead, buy firewood near where you'll burn it, or gather firewood on site when permitted. For information on invasive insects and best firewood practices, visit don'tmovefirewood.org. Montana's healthy lands and waters are truly valuable. Invasive species can be devastating, forever changing the Montana that we know. We must all do our part to make sure our impact is only positive. Once invasives take hold, they can be virtually impossible to get rid of. Prevention is the highest priority, and you are our greatest protector.